Hello coders, welcome to Level Up with Coding. Today I'll be solving the problem 2441, largest positive integer that exists with its negative. Let's understand what the problem is saying. The problem is saying that you have a given an array of integer that does not contain any zeros and find the largest positive integer k such that minus k also exists in that array. Return the positive integer k, and if there is no integer, then minus. If there is no integer, then return -1. So what the problem is saying, that you have a given an array that does not contain any zero, okay, that does not contain any zero, and you have to find such k such that minus k also exists in that array, and you have to return the maximum value of k you can get from that array, so that minus k value also exists in that array. Let's take the example 2. What it is saying, that the array contains -1, 10, 6, 7, -7, 1. So what is the largest value of k that exists in that array such that minus k also exists? I have seen that the largest value is 10, but -10 is not exist in that array. So 10 can't be my answer, because if 10 is answer, -10 should be exist in that array. So 10 is not my answer. So what is the next largest value? The next largest value is 7, but -7 is also exist in that array. That means the 7 is answer. And for the third example, what is the largest value? 8. -8 not exist in that array, so 8 can't be my answer. What is the next largest value? 7. 7 is -7 is also not exist in my array, so 7 is not possible. 6, -6 is not in my array, so 6 is not possible. Then all the numbers are negative. That means there is no positive integer k is present such that minus k also exists. So for that case we have to return -1. I think the problem is now clear. Okay, so how we'll solve the problem? So the brute force approach. What will be the brute force approach? So what I have to do? We have to find such k such that minus k also exist in my array. Okay, k and minus k both are exist in my array, and then we have to find what is the maximum value of that k so that minus k also present. So what we can do? We'll iterate through all the value in the array. That means we iterate through all the value in that array, and if we see a number is positive, okay, if we see if a number is positive, that means we found k. So what should our target? Our target is we have to find, check the minus k is also present in that array or not, in that array or not. Then how we'll check? We'll iterate through all the elements again, and we check that if there is minus k present or not. If we see that k is present, if k is present, we are trying to find minus k. If we see that minus k also present, that means k should be my answer. But what I have to do? I have to find what is the maximum value of such k. So we can use a variable and try to find what is the maximum value. For that case, in the first example, what we will be doing, if we see there is a positive integer, like this is -1, so we will not doing anything. If we see there is a positive integer, that means this is 10, that means it is positive, then we will try to find if 10 is present or not using linear search. Using linear search, we will try to find in that array -10 is present or not. If we see that -10 also present in my array, so we'll take another variable max, and we'll try to maximize the value with the k if both conditions are satisfied. That means I know k is present. If this is positive, this is my k, and if I see that -10 is also present, that means minus k also present, so I will try to find what is the maximum value of such k. In that way, I will try to find for all positive integer. Like for 10, -10 is not present, so -10 can't be my answer. Okay, then we'll try with 6. 6 is positive integer. Then we'll try to find what is -6 in that array. I see that -6 is not present, so -6 can't be my answer. Okay, then we'll try with 7. 7, I will try to find what the value of minus k, that means -7. I see that -7 is present, that means 7 can't be my answer. So I will try to find that. I will say that my max is 7. Then I see that positive integer is 1. Okay, 1. What I will try to find? -1. I see that -1 is also present. So 1 can be my answer. Okay. but I want the maximum one. I previously 7 and I am getting 1, so I can say that 7 is my answer. I will not take my 1 because I already achieved a getter value. So for that case, the time complexity will be order of n squared. Why order of n squared? I will iterating through all the element in the array. Then if I see there is a positive integer, I will try to find minus of that positive integer, and to finding the minus of that positive integer, that means if I see there is a positive integer, I am assuming this is k, I will try to find what is the value of minus k, and for finding minus k, I will again do one linear search. That means the time complexity is order of n squared. So how we can reduce the time complexity? So what we are doing? We are doing that if we'll iterate it through all the elements in that array, and if I see there is a positive integer, we'll try to find that if minus of that positive integer present in my array or not. If this is present, I will try to find I will try to maximize that my answer, and if not, I'll just simply skip. That means what I have to do, I have to check that minus k, that means positive, I have a positive integer p, and I have to find that minus p is present or not. So what I can do, I can store all the minus value in a map. I can store all the minus value in a map. Okay, first time. Then in the same process, I can find that minus 1 present or not in log n time. In log n time. So what I can say that if we see a positive integer, I will check in log n time using map, that map.find that if my minus p is present in my map or not. If this is present, I can say that p is one of my answer. Then I will try to find the maximize my answer. If not, then I will simply skip. That means now my time complexity is become n log n, because we don't have to iterate through again to check whether the minus p is present or not. We can check using log n, because map will take log n time to check a number is present or not. Now my time complexity is reduced to n log n. Okay, but we'll using an extra space because map will take order of n space. Okay, but can we improve again the time complexity? Yes, but how? So what we are doing, we'll iterating through all the elements. If I see there is a positive integer, I am finding that minus of that positive integer is present or not. If I see that minus of that positive integer is present, that means this is valid, and try to maximize my answer. Okay, try to maximize my answer. So we have to check whether that minus value of that positive integer present or not, and it will taking log n time. Okay, so I can reduce that log n time in order of 1. Okay, log n time to order of 1. So how we can reduce? So what we'll be doing, I'll take an array. Okay, I'll take an array. Then first I'll go through all the elements in that array, and if I see there is a negative number, what will be doing? If I see there is a negative number, I convert them into positive and mark that positive index at 1. That means if I see there is minus 5 and 5 and 6 and minus 4. Okay, I have seen that there is a negative number minus 5. I will first convert them in 5 and mark the index 5 as 1. Okay, mark the index 5 as 1 in my array, so that in next time whenever I try to find minus 5, I can easily find that if 5 is marked as 1, that means minus 5 is present. Why? Because I am marking minus 5 in index 5. So whenever I try to find that minus 5 is present in my array or not, I just simply check that it positive index is 1 or not. If my positive index is 1, that means it's present. That means for minus 5, which index I am putting? In 5 I am putting 1. Okay, so whenever I try to find minus 5, which index I will be checking? I will checking minus 5 only, na? So in next time, what we see that the next is positive integer, we don't have to do anything. Then the next is 6, and then next is 4, minus 4. That means for minus 4, which index will be marked? For minus 4, the index marked will be 4. That means for index 4 will marked as 1. Okay, then in the next time what will be doing, we'll iterate through all the elements in the array, but in that time, if we see that there is a positive integer, we check that if that index is marked as 1 or not. Why? Because what I have to find? I have to find minus p, and I know for minus p the index p should be marked as 1, right? Because that is first positive value is 5. Okay, for 5 what I have to find? I have to find minus 5, right? So 5 I have to find minus 5, but for minus 5 which index marked will be 1 if minus 5 is present? 5 only, na? So what will be doing? If I see there is a positive integer, I will check that my array of p is equal to 1 or not. If I see my array of p is equal to 1, that means minus p is also present, because for minus p I am putting in index p as 1, right? So for p I will checking that if p is 1, that means minus p is present. Okay, so in that way I can reduce my query, like for a value is present in my array or not, from log n to order of 1, because in array it will take order of 1 time to checking. Okay, so by that way I can reduce the time complexity to order of n log n to order of n. Now my time complexity is order of n and space complexity is also order of n. Okay, and let's move to the code editor so that it can be more understandable. So at first what we'll be doing, we'll taking an array and the length of the array will be 1001. Why 1001? Because the array can be at minimum minus 1000. So the index can be plus 1000, because for minus p we're putting in index p, right? So for minus 1000 we'll put that value in positive 1000, right? So the maximum size will be 1001. So what we'll be doing, we'll iterate through all the value in my current array, and if I see that my current value is less than 0, that means it is negative. For negative value what I have to do, I have to mark in that positive index, that means minus of that negative value, that means positive index, and mark them as 1. That means I will mark the negative positive value index as 1. Then in the next time I will again iterate through all the elements, but in that time if I see that my current index is greater, my current value is greater than 0, that means this is positive, and my array of that value is equal to 1. Okay, that means this is valid, because I am checking this is positive, that means I am in p, and what I have to find? I have to find that minus p present or not, and I know for minus p I am putting that p index as 1. Okay, so that's why I am checking in index value is 1 or not. If that is 1, that means it can be my answer. So we'll first take an answer at minus 1, because if no element present, the answer will be minus 1, but if any element present, that means I will try to maximize my answer, so that answer will be max of val. Okay, and at last I will return my answer and run the code. Okay, yeah, it accepted, and let's submit it. Yeah, it accepted. Okay, and beats 96%. In case you liked our video, make sure you subscribe the channel and share with your friends, and stay connected with us. Thank you.